This is Banging on the Drum.
Do it right now, this second.
It is another beautiful day in West Central Wisconsin, and welcome to episode 126 of Banging on the Drum. I am your host, P Dog, joined alongside our other host, M Dog. And M Dog, how you doing today after those betting woes that you are stuck in?
So I'm doing all right. I didn't focus on that today. Um, yeah, rough. I did notice them that at first I thought, oh, the Commanders. No, is that who I had my double dog? Yeah, my double dog. I was like, that was good. I can scrape by here. All I need is the Jets, Eagles to go right my way, and then everything will be just fine. And it didn't.
Yeah, no, we were both early slate. It was still looking like we could have both had some pretty good weeks from what I was paying attention to. And I was paying attention pretty close just because we didn't have the Packer game. So I was just swinging there. But I'll give the stats right now. So you went 1-6 on the week. All your games are done. And it looks like you end up negative 600 on the week, which will put you negative 1,700 bing bongs on the
I think
year.
it should actually be negative 700. It should be negative. Yeah, you're right. Never mind. I'm an idiot. So
Yep, you are. No, I'm
yeah,
just kidding. But
in gambling and math.
But yeah, then I went 4-2 with a chance of going 5-2, or yeah, 5-2 or 4-3. So at my worst, I'll be negative 100 on the week. At my best, I will be. Here's where I need you in the math: 500 plus 500 on the week. So it does look like I'm going to lose the game, even though the game's in a delay right now. So I don't know what is going on. If there's some sort of injury, I was prepping for this, so who knows? But anyways, long story short, Mike lost this week, and he is going to get to rip a sun drop, that lucky son of a gun. So we're pretty nice on this show. If you lose, you get a treat, and you get to shotgun a tasty sun drop.
Yeah, tasty, tasty. Yes.
You got it cracked already?
No, I don't have a crack.
So we were waking Mike up from a nap with a sun drop.
Yeah, so that's like legit too. Woke myself up because I fell asleep trying to put my kid to bed because I'm a clown. And a day that I was like one of the few days that I needed to not.
Oh, he goes for it. It looked like he was going to say another word, but he didn't. I don't know if he popped the top to let the airflow go, but it doesn't seem like it. He is chugging it down. Oh, I hear the sounds, and he's getting too good at this. Did it go down the wrong
Like I've
pipe
been
on you?
smoking.
Did it go down the wrong pipe on you, or what?
Yep, sure did.
It's coming up Mike's nose right now.
It's not coming out my nose yet, which is good.
Uh,
Definitely got in the lung side of things instead of the. So probably gonna like be excessively sick. Anyway, right before I was jumping off there, I was saying that like this is like one of the few nights that I couldn't be late. Like I told Pat I'd be here right at 8:30. Fell asleep, woke up right at 30. I don't even know like how I woke up. Lucky it's not like midnight. And Pat wasn't just texting me like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But
yeah, no, I was ready to push it to tomorrow night because when you said at least we'll be done by 9:30, I was like, oh shit, if he's gonna be at 9:30, then I'm just gonna ask if we can do it tomorrow. But you made it. You made it from a nap. So Mike's the true hero of the show. He gets works full time all the time, has 3 kids, a wife, and then I get like a full time job where I have to work early, and I'm like, man, we need to adjust the schedule.
yeah, so like I just think that um, I think about things differently than and most married like with kids guys do that like they just think about like if they want to be doing something they have to find the time instead of like they just have the time. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah, no, and I think I would try to find the time, but I have to get up super early, and it's my first day of working a different shift, so I'm like, I don't really want to go in there dry, but and I'm gonna get there early tomorrow, so I'll be feeling it out and seeing like how early I really have to wake up, which is gonna
Yeah,
be early. It's gonna be early regardless, but tomorrow
yeah.
it's gonna be super early. But anyways, it's enough life updates there. Let's get into business here. All we have on the docket was the Iowa at Wisconsin game where Iowa ends up beating Wisconsin 15-6. What I got for game notes here. Actually, I just won't read those verbatim, but really felt like a game that we kind of needed to win because the Big Ten
Yeah,
West is just such a shit show this year. So I was hoping Fickle would put like a game plan together to blend like the old with the new. Like, hey, we do have this new system. We don't have the guys to run this system. And I don't know why I was like wishfully thinking that so much. But anyways, we go to play Iowa. Iowa, really good defense, really, really good special teams, which was insane. And we end up losing the turnover battle, which I think was big in that one. We have some big injuries, whatever. But I think I'm going to do this just more because it's pretty funny. But I'm just going to do like the drive-by-drive, just to
all
refresh
right.
people's memories and just because it's kind of insane.
It's
So
I would say that it's probably very comical on like number of plays run per drive or how many drives there actually was.
yeah, so we start out like they do have some like decent drives where they're getting first down. So it goes 8 plays for Iowa and a punt, and then 11 plays for Wisconsin and a turnover on downs, which did end up kind of being big because we could have kicked a field goal there or ran a better play on 4th down, but we didn't, just got stuffed. And then Iowa turned it over on downs, and then 3-and-out Wisconsin punt, 3-and-out Iowa punt, 3-and-out Wisconsin punt, 3-play 90-yard touchdown drive. So shit, LaShawn Williams was the time he took the 80-yard, well, he went for 80 yards or whatever, 82-yard touchdown run. Basically, Wisconsin's only really big mistake on defense all game long. And yeah, and that just burned us. But then we come back out, 3 plays, punt. Iowa goes 3 plays, punt. Wisconsin goes 3 plays, punt. Iowa goes 3 plays, punt. Wisconsin goes 5 plays, punt. Iowa goes 3 plays, punt. Wisconsin goes 3 plays, punt. Iowa goes 3 plays, punt. And that's the half.
That was a half. That was like so many drives for a half. There's games in the NFL that are like 6 drives total, right? Like for the whole half.
Yeah, but Wisconsin did come out with a little bit of like fire in the second half because then the drives get a little bit better. So we go 13 plays, 60 yards, get a field goal. I think that was the big field goal there. Let me look at that. Not that it matters.
So that puts it at 7-3, and we're like okay at that point.
Yeah. No, that was the 36-yard field goal. So that was kind of the shorter field goal. And then Iowa gets the ball, 3 plays, punt. So holding to a 3-and-out. And then Wisconsin goes 10 plays, 60 yards this time. And then Vekus. Is that how you say the kicker's name? Vekus?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you for sure.
Yeah, he hits a 52-yarder. So 7-6 at this point. Iowa goes 3 plays, 2 yards and a punt. Wisconsin goes 3 plays, 8 yards and a punt. And then the Iowa punter was turning the field over big time because all Iowa had to do on this next drive where they get a field goal is they go 6 plays, 28 yards, and their kicker, Drew Stevens, hits a 48-yard field goal. But yeah, they were just buttoned up on every aspect of special teams. And then I can't remember exactly what happened, but we get the ball back and we have 3 plays, -7 yards, and a safety. But I can't remember why we were pinned so deep. If it was just Drew Stevens, kickoff, 65 yards, return for no gain to the Wisconsin 7. For some reason, I don't remember us.
Was it kickoff and not a punt?
Yeah, this was after a field goal. So, anyways, we fuck up a kick return. Like I said, it's not the kick return part of it isn't really registering in my brain right now. It does end up being pretty big because we end up going -7 yards and getting a safety on that. So
was there a hold or a block in the back or something?
It had to have been. Like I said,
I think that's what happened.
Yeah, because I can't imagine because you just can catch the damn ball and go out to the 25 in college. So I don't see how we would have done that. But yeah, I end up giving up a safety. And then the game goes punt, Iowa punt, Wisconsin punt, Iowa punt, Wisconsin fumble, Iowa field goal on a 17-yard drive. Wisconsin throws an interception. End of the game.
Yeah, so we were pressing late, which was part of the problem. But
yeah, the drive we throw that. Well, I mean, basically, after that field goal or after the fumble and they get the field goal, the game just was over. I mean, there wasn't much time left. Whatever. And then Mordecai goes down. I want to say late second quarter. He definitely was in for the second half. Braylon Allen got nicked up early and missed some carries in the second quarter. But he came back and he looked pretty much just fine, I would say. But ends up having like a decent day that could have been a lot better if we gave him a few more carries because he has 18 carries, 87 yards on the day. Like we said, Mordecai goes down. Locke comes in. He didn't look half bad right off the bat. I was kind of like, hey, this guy might be good.
I think he's got a lot of potential. So I think that he's like a freshman and like he's like a Graham Mertz style. I shouldn't say style, like type quarterback coming out of high school, like just a guy that did a shitload of stuff. But he did it in Texas, not in Kansas. I think that makes a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, you were right. He is a freshman. Iowa's quarterback was their second string quarterback. Deacon Hill, which got thrown in our face big time, he used to play for Wisconsin, transferred to Iowa.
But he didn't do shit for Iowa. No, he just managed the game.
He didn't. Right? Yeah, he didn't do a damn thing. He was like an interesting looking quarterback.
He was like, is it Lorenzen?
Yeah,
is that the guy from back in the day? Lorenzen?
But man, he looked like a sack of potatoes. Like it wasn't even like he was like big and just kind of like fit.
No, he was big and not fit.
Yeah, he was pretty floppy. But yeah, he goes 6 for 14 for 37 yards. So it wasn't really a factor in the game.
And that's what we were supposed to be like, feel bad that we got rid of. Like, are you shitting me?
But it's not that though. I feel like Wisconsin just gets put in so many situations where we're kind of like, and this is a biased take, but like that we're like the big. So my example would be like Arizona this year. It was like Arizona was kind of like the underdog coming in to face us with a feel good story. And I feel like this is a feel good story. Like if you didn't have a cheering interest in this game and you're like, oh, this guy wasn't good enough to play for Wisconsin. Now he's playing against them.
He won, right?
Yeah.
He won the game. Like that's what happened. He was 37 yards, made all the difference.
No, I want to say this guy got drafted off this game. I think he was already getting drafted. Torrey Taylor, their punter, 10 punts for 506 yards, so averaging 50.6 yards a punt, and has six of the 10 punts were pinned inside the 20. Just a phenomenal game by a punter. Like the punter was definitely the MVP in the game. I guess though,
Yeah.
like I said, LaShawn Williams, 25 carries, 174 yards. The big one was obviously the 82-yard run for the only touchdown scored in this game, but just like a knockout, drag out, dog shit football where you just couldn't make mistakes, and we made three, I think.
Well, I mean, I want to say that even on the late fumble, like we fumbled it twice on that drive, right?
I
Braylon
can't.
Allen fumbles it,
Yep,
and then
yep. Then
like,
we got
we
it back.
recover,
Yep.
and then he fumbles it again like a play or two later.
Yeah. I don't think it was Braden Locke runs no gain and he fumbled.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was Locke fumbling both, or not both times, but fumbling and then throwing the interception late. But yeah, like you said, I mean, if you look at the box score, you're like, oh, they won the turnover battle 2-0, but it really wasn't until the last drives where we were kind of pressing. I mean, the fumble was huge because the game's 12-6 at that point, puts them in
Yep.
field position where all they needed was a field goal. And once they hit that field goal, the game was over. You knew the game was over when they hit that field goal. It's like Wisconsin hasn't moved the ball at all. How are we gonna, go 8 or whatever, 75 yards, get a touchdown, get the ball back, and then do it again? Like there was just no chance. And yeah, it was a bad game. I think like I was saying off the jump, it seemed like a game where we should have just leaned on some of our strengths to win the Big Ten West, because I think that's going to go a lot further than we're really thinking it is, in the sense that, if Wisconsin gets a new coach and they win the Big Ten West, that's going to do well recruiting. It's like, hey, I
Yep.
just stepped in here. We're turning this place around. We're still winning games while we're turning this around. But like, why don't we just run some heavy sets, especially on plays like where we need a yard or two? Like,
Yeah. So I'm a little disappointed. Like, if you're going to set up an air raid offense, you have to be able to throw the ball and catch the ball, right? And so the fact that you can't move the ball at all, like air raid, like in theory, the air raid offenses are like Big 12 type football, right? Nobody can really stop them, and the other teams just keep up.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And so like I'm disappointed in the fact that so we come in and like I get it, they got a really good defense, but if you're running an air raid offense, I expect you to kind of pick that apart a little bit, especially in college. Like the
yeah,
pass defenses in college are really, really not very good, and so it just kind of surprised me that like that's the way shit went.
yeah. And it doesn't seem like we have a lack of weapons. Maybe we're just not used to it, and our receivers aren't that great. But like Pauling looks like he's good. Bryson Green seemed like he came on that game. Shimmer DK from last year, Skylar Bell from last year were two pretty good receivers. But yeah, I think there's like a play calling problem right now. But yeah, we are moving to a new system. I am falling into the trap of getting a little impatient, but we were 2 of 17 on third down conversions, and that used to be like the stat that Wisconsin would just stay on the field, like we would
Yep.
just run the damn ball or run it twice, be third manageable, be able to manage to get a third down. 3 for 4 on fourth downs, which that was fine. We didn't get crushed in time of possession. It was pretty even. Iowa having the ball for 30 minutes 30 seconds, where Wisconsin had it for 29 minutes and 30 seconds. So nothing too crazy, just a few big mistakes went a long way.
Yeah, I mean, so like really their scoring drive when they scored the touchdown was like like what, 2 plays?
Yeah, I think it was 3 plays, 80 yards or whatever it was.
Yeah, and one of those was a 72-yard run or something.
Oh no, it was, yeah, because the run was 82 yards. So I think it was like
Oh,
three
okay.
plays, 90 yards or whatever it was. But yeah, bad luck and then just not good execution by the Brewers. But you ready to get into the SWAT?
The Badgers. We're like we're living into a bunch of like bullshit Wisconsin sports outcomes recently. We just said not good execution by the Brewers, but really what we're
Oh,
talking about
okay.
is the Badgers, which is another not great execution. And
I'm
we covered.
glad you caught me on that, because I always hate it when I'm listening back to these and I say the wrong shit like way more than I know. Like I wonder if when I just talk to people in general in public, they're just like, I don't know what the fuck that guy was talking about. But they just go with it.
Yeah, maybe no one's actually listening. They're just like not like to this, but to you in public because
Well, to
they're
this
always
too.
just
Like,
thinking about themselves.
yeah, no, I don't know what it is, but I misspeak quite often. I've noticed when I listen back to this. But anyways, horrible execution by the Badgers. So you ready to get into our SWAT portion of it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. And feel free to jump in wherever you
Yeah, yeah.
see fit. All right. So for strengths ahead, defense was pretty great aside from giving up the 80-yard run. We kind of covered that extensively. Special teams hung in there with probably the best special teams unit in the country.
It looks that way. Like it looked like Iowa was that team, special teams wise.
Yeah, that Deshaun guy for them is really good. He won them a game on a punt return. And I actually did a preview for the game by myself, and then like when I was trying to edit the video together. So I did quite a bit of like looking back at the Iowa teams, and I mean everybody in the public too. Like when I was watching like pregame, they're like, "This Iowa special teams is amazing. This Iowa special teams is amazing." And like if you go back and watch the tape that I watched, the highlight reels, their
Yeah,
special teams is amazing. And then we got to see the punter. I already forgot his name on full display. Torrey Taylor, just crushing punts all game long. But yeah, Wisconsin didn't seem to be like too outmatched on the special teams aspect of it, but they were just better. They were just a little bit better. Um, that's all I had for strengths. I don't know if
yeah.
you saw some.
I mean, so I think the strength was that our defense held up against a team that, but Iowa is a team that every game they win, they score 15 points.
Yeah, yeah. I
Like,
mean,
like they don't dominate anybody. It doesn't feel like.
no, their offense is pretty horrible. So,
Yeah,
I mean, even our defense doing well, I mean, it's just kind of what they should have done in that game. But yeah, if you only give up 15 points, you have a Doak Walker, running back, and you can't put up more than 15 points. Like, I think there has to be some sort of coaching issues. Um, that did trigger a memory, but it's not a full thought. I thought we were messing up something there, but it definitely seemed like you should blend these systems until you got your guys to get there. But I'll probably say that 6 more times. So weaknesses, our offense just absolutely sucked ass. Like we said, it didn't help. Mordecai went down. I think if he stays healthy, we got quite a bit better shot of winning that game. I mean, he wasn't doing way too much with the ball when he was in there. He was 12 of 20 for 106 yards, so wasn't having a bad game. 4 carries, 8 yards, but he seems like he's a little bit better at moving the chains. And like you said, Locke is a freshman, so I mean he got tossed into the fire very young, very green, I guess. But yeah, weakness, offense sucked ass. 2 of 17 on third downs, had key injuries, and then gonna rehammer this point. It seems like we have too much pride implementing this new system without the right guys yet. Where
yeah,
I think everybody watching this is like, hey, this is a very beatable Iowa team. If you just roll back the clock like 1 year, like, and just be like, hey, we're just gonna play with them, run it down their throats, take the points where we can get them. The fourth down early in the game, where we didn't get it, and it was kind of like I think it was the quarterback was under center, but I mean it was just a play like we could use a fullback in there. Or if you're familiar with this rivalry, which I think Fickle's a smart guy, so I'm not saying like, oh, it's dumb that he didn't do this because he did, but you might just want to take the points there early if you know
yep.
how this one is going to play out. Because I mean that
Well,
puts us at 9 points on the game or whatever. It changes, so it's not necessarily the truth, but
but it forces them to like have pressure, right? They know that they don't score a ton of points. So you get up 3 points early, then the pressure switches to them. And then think like when teams fall under pressure, especially a bad offensive team like Iowa, like their offensive system might start failing in different ways, right? You have false starts, you are doing dumb, you're holding on that big long one, something like that. Where when you're playing with house money because you got the lead early, then like that shit doesn't happen. Like the pressure never gets to them because they're not dealing with the pressure. They know their defense is going to hold us to probably like a max of 15 points. They know that Wisconsin's not going to come in and score 40 on them. That shit ain't going to happen. So when you get a 7 point lead early and they can't move the ball, like that matters.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think that falls in the woulda, coulda, shouldas as well. I mean, if they got that first down, capitalized, got a touchdown, we'd be like, hell yeah, that's what we should have done. It was obvious we got a touchdown, but
Yeah,
yeah, it was not the
but you
case
didn't.
in this game. Yeah, so yeah, then for opportunities, I've been a Debbie Downer, but I guess I would like we seen what they got. They don't make many mistakes. I guess they play great defense, great special teams. The Big Ten West is dog shit, but it is the Big Ten West still. So they could slip up, lose another game. We could still have a shot at the Big Ten West.
Only if they lose 2 games because I mean, like we're gonna lose to Ohio State if this. I mean, if this is the way we play with it, we're gonna. It doesn't.
Yeah, I mean that is very true. So it's a slim shot, but the window's still cracked. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose to like a Minnesota or something like that. But yeah, it's all bad. So they play Minnesota, Northwestern, Rutgers, Illinois, Nebraska. So they need 2 losses in that pool, or we need to uh, pull a game out
Beat
of
Ohio
our ass.
State.
Yeah, which yeah, like you said, doesn't look like it's gonna happen.
To be
Uh,
fair, I do think that there's a better opportunity to beat Ohio State due to the fact that like Fickle has some like revenge mindset. It has to, right? So I think it came down to him and Ryan Day for that job back when Ryan Day got it initially. So he's got to have some like I don't want to say some hatred, but some like bad blood there. That like I don't want this guy who has already proven that it was fine to hire him, but like I don't want this guy to ever beat me in a game. Like I want to show the university that they fucked up by hiring him.
I sure hope you're right, but I don't know. I don't know if this is the year
I
for
don't know. I
that.
don't
Like,
think I just said it. I think we lose to him. I don't think that there's any difference. I do think that his approach to the Ohio State week will be different every time.
yeah, I mean, they were showing kind of the stuff like he was doing leading up to the Iowa game, which I like the way he talks. I like the way he like articulates himself, and he just seems like a smooth, cool operator, not a panicker. Looks like he knows what's coming, but I do think they fucked up losing this game. Like I definitely think
Yeah.
it's not doesn't fall in the category of like, oh, we're rebuilding. It's like, no, like that's Ohio State. Like that's when you can use that excuse. That's Michigan. That's Penn
Yep.
State. Like that's
Yep.
it's not Iowa on just a down year where their starting quarterback's hurt. They can't put up any points, and all you got to do is score 16 points to win this game, and you can't do it. It's not good. Nail muito bom. But yeah, then another opportunity I got. This is gonna be the eighth time I said it. But just learn from these mistakes. Like learn that we don't have the guys to run the system that we're trying to run yet, and blend it. Like it was always like the craziest thing to me is when a high school coach would say, "This is our offense. This is how we do it. We're running
Yeah. Yep.
T. That's it." Like you get a 6'5" quarterback with a rocket arm.
We're running it
Yeah,
58 times tonight, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
or yeah. So I think like sometimes in the conference that I grew up in, like everybody always ran it no matter what, right? And so like that was always just the system. Didn't matter if you had all the fast guys in the conference on your team, right? Didn't matter. We're running it because that's all we've ever done. Where our line average is 138 pounds. Run the motherfucker, right? I mean, so like I'm gonna go with like a play opportunity that I saw like a big problem in. Jump into this like end of the first half. There's like 15 seconds left. We have the ball on like the 35. The Iowa's 35. So basically, like if you chuck it up to the end zone twice, like there's just an opportunity to score a touchdown. You don't have a great opportunity to like actually move the ball and get it closer. They tried a couple times, didn't work. And I want to say it was like third and fourth down. There's like 8 seconds left. It's probably two plays. If you just chuck it into the end zone, but they threw like two, like 8 yard outs, like not even enough for a first down, let alone like
yeah,
like getting into a place where we score points. And so it was frustrating. Maybe we weren't even as close as the 35 because I don't remember us being in field goal range, right?
yeah. No, it's
Not that the
definitely
35 is like this is college football. Like it's not the pros. 35, you're like, all right, this guy's gonna line up. He's gonna kick a, I don't know, 57-yard or whatever it is, and we'll be all right. But like in college, like that's not the way you look at it. And so I just thought like just chuck it at the end zone a couple times. Like
yeah.
take the chance.
No, I 100% agree with you, and that was missed by me in this. Is a huge weakness was running routes short of the sticks on third down, like just super consistently. Like that
Yep.
was why our third down rate. And it's not even like we're trying to play like old Wisconsin. It's like, hey, let's get to like 1 yard out so Braylon Allen can do this on 4th and 1. It's like, hey,
Yep.
let's run it 2 yards short, and then if we have to do it, we're going to throw it again, and we're not going to get it. I mean,
Yep.
that's
Yeah.
that's me.
Like I just the mindset at the end of the half, I just didn't get like just put it up there. Like what's gets picked off. They're at the 25. They can't do anything offensively. Like play your prevent defense. Like just make sure nothing like huge happens, which I don't love, but like there's 4 seconds left in the half. Like the opportunity for them to score is almost zero.
Yeah, yeah, no, it does seem like a missed opportunity. It seems stupid, but yeah, they're just like, oh, let's just go into the half. Like we're only down 7-0 going into the half, so like we'll come out and get in the second half. But yeah, dumb play calling there. But let's move to threats here, and then yeah, all I got is like the threat that we have all the time because I'm falling for it now. It's just like the impatience of letting this
Yeah.
system like set up and stuff, and I'm already like, hey, we need to like change it until we can change it. But yeah, and then just dumb fans like me thinking we still have a shot at the West, where we should just kind of be like, hey, let's just let them run their course and do what they want to do throughout the rest of the season. And maybe that'll work out better. Maybe it'll just be like the growing pains, like let's get it out early. Let's not blend this because like then you guys are going to think we're going to do this when once we get our guys, we're not going to do this. So I
But
don't
to
know.
be fair, like you're probably going to be able to recruit one of the top, like I don't know, probably like the top 20 running backs in the country every year. If you really want, like if you want to like push on a running back and be like, hey, we're Wisconsin, we run the ball, like that's something that we do, even out of your spread offense, you can do that. You can say, hey, let's go. This is what we're gonna do. From here on out, we're gonna like you're not gonna be that same type of back that Wisconsin has had traditionally. But if you like sell what your university has been good at forever, and that's running the ball. Like we recruit really good offensive linemen and we run the ball better than probably 99% of programs in the history of the country. Like
Yeah,
there's probably a few programs that have like consistently been better than us, and it's almost nobody.
yeah, I'm trying to think of ones, but yeah, I mean, but we've been very one dimensional when we were doing that. Where I think there's been like other rushing attacks that were probably more dynamic. That,
Yep.
but they had Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush to
Yeah, I
complement
mean,
each
so if
other
you
and
take
win the
small sample sizes of guys, there's probably so like Oklahoma, like they might have like historically
Oh,
better
I get what
rushing
you're
yards,
saying.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe same with Nebraska because Nebraska, what Nebraska did in the mid '90s, like they were just dominant, and I believe that a lot of that came on like a triple option type stuff.
yeah,
So there's those teams that I mean, maybe we're not right there with them, right? Maybe, but I think for the most part, if you're looking at a pro style offense that runs the ball really really well, we're it.
yeah, yeah. So, well, I guess let's just hope that they do blend it, and then Phil Longo or whatever just upgrades his offense to include what Wisconsin already has and benefits there. So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean the only thing
So
that would happen about having good running backs, your offense would just be easier to run and better.
I don't know like where Mordecai's stuff falls, but I think that's another threat is that if he does not come back, like
Oh,
that
okay.
we could end up like struggling because we don't have that guy that understands and can like lead this offense in an effective way.
Yeah, and I just looked something up here. So Wisconsin quarterback Tanner Mordecai could miss some time after leaving Saturday's 15-6 loss to visiting Iowa with an injury to his throwing hand. Television cameras caught Mordecai taping the top of his hand. Whatever. It sounds like yeah, he could be out for a couple games at the very least, which yeah,
Yeah.
is not going to be good.
Well, and so like that could fall under opportunities as well, right? So we see like because Mordecai is done after this year, and so we see kind of if like Locke can handle it or if it's something that we need to put. I think Burkett is the other one. They recruited 3 quarterbacks this offseason. I think those 3 are it. Locke and Burkett are the other 2.
That's what
Um,
I'm confused about. So we're just done on that Evers,
so I don't know,
the,
maybe
the guy we got from Oklahoma.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to look that up. Like, I think he's on the roster. I don't know if he got soured that he transferred and then they brought in Mordecai after him. But
Yeah, and maybe he's going to be done either way, right? So that like because they brought in Mordecai, he transferred, and then he's just going to transfer out again at the end of this year or so.
yeah, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I do think that that's a threat and an opportunity, like you said.
And maybe I
Just
got the name wrong, like that Evers, right? Like
yeah,
that's a possibility too. And like it's not Burkett, it's Evers.
yeah. Let me look at this real quick to see who we got in the or on the roster. To so yeah, Nick Evers, he's a freshman. Um, yeah, but you're right. Miles Burkett, Cole LaCrue, Braden Locke, Tanner Mordecai. So yeah, we got quite a few, and yeah, damn, they're all freshmen. So, but I do feel like Evers is he either redshirt? No, never mind. Yeah, I don't know. I thought he transferred from Oklahoma. So, but he still looks like on this roster that he is like a true freshman. And that's what.
Yeah. Anyway, like I guess we have an opportunity to see who's going to be our dude next, and maybe Locke comes in this game because he's going to run. He's the most effective at running the offense that they had set up for Iowa,
Yeah,
right? And so like I guess there's a possibility that he's not the guy who starts the next game.
yeah. We will see where it goes from that. But that's what I have. Do you have more to throw onto here?
No, so I am a little bit in the like I wish we play better mode, but I'm not anywhere near the we need to get rid of Fickle for someone else mode,
Yeah, me neither.
right? And I think if you're like wanting to call for Phil Longo's head and or Luke Fickle's head, you need to like take a pretty good step back and just
Yeah.
say like I don't know what I want out of Wisconsin football except for them to win. And if all you wanted was for them to win, like you should have just left it the way it was. Like the reason they're here is to develop a team that competes for national championships, like maybe like 2 out of every 4 or 5 years. And if we can get some, I think for some people, like that's too little as well, right? Like they think we should be Alabama. And I don't know how to take that step from going from what Wisconsin's been, which is a winning program forever, to Alabama. And I don't know that anybody really understands that. Maybe Nick Saban does. Like he gets how to do something like that, but I don't think there's anybody else in the country that does. So, uh, like, just relax. Everything's going to be fucking just fine. That is what I'd like to tell people that make it this far in the old episode. I know that it's frustrating that we're not that team, but we've never have been. And being a winning program is good enough for the most part. I'd like to win the Big Ten more than we have been, but that
Yeah,
is what it is.
yeah, no, it was a rough loss. I think there's going to be a lot of overreactions coming from it. We're on to Illinois in Champaign next weekend. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think you're right. We need to get back on. Like this season, you should just take it as this is house money. We're setting up for something greater in the future. We hope at least
I
that's
mean,
the
that's the goal of hiring Luke Fickle is to that the system changes, right? That the whole process and results from that process change.
yeah. But yes, that is all we got for you this week. Next week, we'll have the Packers game recap. I think we're still going to try to keep figuring out how to do something to like preview the game, like where we might not be on together. We had a video ready. I couldn't get it edited the way that I wanted it, so I didn't put it out. But yeah, we'll figure out something. It's actually kind of nice. It's making us scratch our brain a little bit, so that might be good for innovation here in the future. But as always, thank you for the support. We love you guys. We're going to keep doing it. And Mike, what do you got for them?
If you're doubting the Batters, the Bucks, the Brewers, or the Packers, you can eat our shorts. Roll.
Now I can't find this. There'll be something.
All them suckers that doubted the Packers can't need my shows. All them suckers that doubted the Packers can't eat my shows. Beat them. All them suckers that doubted the Packers can't eat my shows. Eat my shows.